If you were to tell younger me that in 2026, the absolute peak of Star Wars cinema would be Mando and the goo, I would have no idea what to say.
Delicious hot schmoes.
And to be fair, it's not the absolute peak of Star Wars cinema in a whole. It's just the fact that that was the only Star Wars thing that came to theaters this year. It also happens to be the only Star Wars project to come to theaters that absolutely hit on the mark all expectations. And by that, I mean my expectations were just not very high.
He's the best. Love it.
If you like fun adventures with Mando and the goo, then yeah, you're going to like this movie.
How much?
Because this movie really just felt like 4 episodes of The Mandalorian, just kind of like smashed together and delivered cinema quality in the theater. Here you go. Have your food, eat it too. You're gonna eat it. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, boy.
By no means was it a really bad movie. It just didn't do anything to really like expand a whole lot of lore. Yeah, we got to see now Hutta a little bit, but like we didn't get to see any deep dives into characters or character development or anything like that really. At least in my opinion. And my opinion is right.
Is this not why you were here?
But at the end of the day, this movie is really just fine. Nothing really making it stand out as one of the greatest movies of all time. And nothing really saying this movie is worse than Tombstone, which, I mean, nothing really ever is, because that's the worst movie in the whole world.
Why are you crying?
And so, what I would tell you is if you're gonna go watch Mando and the Goo, just expect to have an adventure. That's it. Because my only real major problem with this entire movie is really nitpicky, and a lot of people disagree with me. But they did this in Andor and I didn't like it, and they did it again in this movie and I didn't like it. And what I'm talking about is the music. Now, 99% of all of the music in this movie is beautiful. Ludwig is generational talent that we have just seen do more and more and more, and I'm excited to see what he does with the Odyssey. But the moment I'm talking about is there is a moment where you go from space to then going to enter into a, like, city. And as they're flying over the city and walking through the city, they change the music so it becomes more electronic. Now, electronic music has its place. But in this moment, it took me out of the story. It made me feel not like I was in Star Wars anymore. I can't tell you why, but that's how it made me feel, and that's my problem with the movie. The Andor sequence that I'm talking about is near the end of, I think, episode... I want to say it's episode 4 of season 2, and they play some electronic music over the death of one of the characters. And while Mon Mothma is, like, dancing at her daughter's arranged marriage, that also took me out of the story. Granted, I wasn't really in that story too much, but it took me out of it, and I didn't like it then, and I didn't like it now. That being said, I'm going to go watch the movie again on Thursday, because again, this movie is not as bad as Tombstone. Nothing ever will be. because that is the worst movie in the whole world. I've never seen it, and I never will. Peace.
Delicious Hot Schmoes.